22nd of November 1963, JFK was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald. This was to change history. But history was about to change as well on the following day. 23rd of November 1963. At 17:16 on BBC television, a Time Lord arrived. This man would go on for 54 years on our screens. And this man that we all come to love, who would be called simply by one name, at one name that we all love: Doctor. This video is about my love of Doctor Who and my history connected to the show, and what the show has done for me in my life. So sit back and relax and enjoy me talking about Doctor Who. And welcome to a special video celebrating 54 years of Doctor Who. Doctor Who started on the 23rd November 1963 with William Hartnell playing the first Doctor. And originally the show was supposed to have just ran for 13 episodes, and during the time of Unearth the Child, there was that talk of the show being axed because it was costing them a bit too much money for their liking. But if the show hadn't been produced by Verity Lambert, we wouldn't be sitting here today talking about Doctor Who. So my history of Doctor Who goes back to the wilderness years, because I was born in 92 during the McCoy years, and obviously there was some references to the show during that era. There was the channel Gold that aired some Doctor Who. The first story I ever watched was the 1971 story, The Daemons, in black and white. When I bought the DVD of The Daemons, it was slightly strange watching The Daemons in colour. I did enjoy it, but that I wasn't hooked. But I was slightly hooked into Doctor Who, but it was early days, and then 2005 came along, and the rest is history. New series Doctor Who is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I know some people say, "Oh, that's not such a good story. Oh God, that's an awful story." But to me, I'm just glad with any stories that we get. It was about 2006 when I discovered Big Finish Productions. I researched about Big Finish, what stories they did, what monsters they had, what companions were brought back, and I listened to some on YouTube, which some YouTubers had uploaded. One of the stories that I do remember listening to on YouTube was, I think this was much later, was the Colin Baker story, Brotherhood of the Daleks, and because obviously by then I'd watched Paul McGann in the TV movie, but for me, Doctor Who the movie was a turning point in my life of who would be my favourite Doctor, and so Paul McGann would become my Doctor. I fell in love with a companion called Charlie, which was his first audio companion, and to a point where I did actually name one of my cats after Charlie. Charlotte Pard is her, which is Charlie's full name. My experience with lost episodes. Ooh, Doctor Who and lost episodes. One of my favourite story that I actually enjoyed, which is incomplete, which is the 1966 story, The Celestial Toymaker, again starring Bill, but of course only his hand appeared because William Hartnell was on holiday, so all his dialogue was pre-recorded. And I do have, because I have it on CD, and when I got to meet Peter Purvis, which you can see in the title sequence, I got that signed, the CD, along with the surviving stories of Stephen that Peter Purvis played, but I forgot to take Lost in Time with me to get signed. So, oof. And then, of course, you got that legend with Blue Peter and Doctor Who. Because I always remember the Blue Peter episode around the time of the broadcast of Rise of the Cybermen and the Age of Steel, where Gethin Jones plays a Cyberman in the Age of Steel scenes and stomping around parallel London. I've met a couple of doctors in my time. I've met Matt Smith, met David Tennant, I've met Catherine Tate, which I will never, ever, 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 ever forget, because that was just a dream come true. Because my favourite era of the new series is Series 4 with David and Catherine. And when Big Finish announced that they were going to do the 10th Doctor and Donna, boy, did I scream with joy. I was like that with the announcement of the second volume, but I did go yay when they announced that we would get Jackie back, because I prefer Jackie over Rose. It's the only mother of companions that I like. I like Donna's mother as well. She's in second place. Never took to Martha's. I've been a couple of times to the Doctor Who experience, which was amazing. Because there's handprints that some of the actors did, and I actually had to put my hand on Paul McGann, so I always say that's the nearest I'm going to get to touch Paul McGann. I always say that the sound of the TARDIS is the greatest sound in the universe. It will always ever be the greatest sound in the universe. And the fact that it's in real life, the sound of the TARDIS is actually made by Brian's house keys and then mixed around with the sound. It's like the sound of ripping of time and space. When I was trying to be an actor back in 2012, oh no, actually no, I think it was. Yeah, when I was trying to be an actor towards the end of 2012, I did a production called Mugged, and I was an extra. Well, a recurring character, I should say. And where we pretended to be on the news to the audience, and we was getting interviewed after this person had been mugged and killed, and I'm not sure how I did it I think I stood normally in part 1, but I was never doing it in part 2 appearance. And when we was pretending to be interviewed, I'd always stand like this, like how the first Doctor does with his lapels. So I took the characterism of Bill and I put it into my character. On my Motorama layout, I'm going to have a police box, and I do plan to name a locomotive on the layouts after the show. So be sure to check that out if it ever happens. It possibly will happen, but not straight away. A friend of mine, bless her, she made me 2 scarves of Tom Baker's. They're both replicas. One scarf is of series 12, which is Tom Baker's first series, and for my favourite costume, series 18. And the scarf is roughly 25 foot. Well, it has to be. It's called replica for nothing, you know. But I'd always want to dress up as the 5th Doctor in his costume. But I'd also want to dress up as the 8th Doctor. More costumes. I hate with passion Paul McGann's Dark Eyes costumes. That's from his Big Finish productions, which he has been using lately in some of his productions, which is using in Doom Coalition as well, because it started in Dark Eyes, continued into Doom Coalition, and it's just not doctory, and it just, to me, it just does not match his persona. So whenever I listen to Doom Coalition, I haven't got Dark Eyes yet, so I can't comment. I like to always picture Paul in his TV costume, but I do like his Time of the Doctor costume. And yes, I did scream. I literally did scream. My mum can tell you I screamed when that prologue dropped of Time of the Doctor. Like, ah! Paul McGann's back! I did have the Captain Jack Harkness figure signed by John Barrowman. Which you can see signed by John when he was doing Pantos in Birmingham. So to reflect on 54 years of Doctor Who, my God, 54 years. And still going strong. Who would have thought it that our Time Lord would still be travelling on our airways, saving universes? Who knows what the future will be in hold when Jodie Whittaker takes over next year. But I'm not happy that the fact that we've got to wait until autumn to see Jodie. So I'm a bit knocked at the fact that we've got to wait until autumn to see Jodie. Because what I think should have really happened is they should have started filming a lot sooner, so the series would air like summertime or spring, so we could actually have something a bit early, because we are now, after Christmas, we'll be travelling into an unknown certain whether the show, and I think having to wait till autumn to see how all this new era of Doctor Who will cope. One of my first comments I did make about Jodie taking over the role was, I hope that she does get to face the Daleks ASAP. Because it's like what Sylvester McCoy said when he was the Doctor, that he never felt like he was the Doctor until he faced the Daleks. So that will be interesting to see whether we get to see the Daleks in the next series, which on fingers crossed will happen. Hopefully we get to see more Cybermen as well in the future. Not necessarily next series, but I would actually like them to be the Mondasian Cybermen again, not the, as people call them, the Iron Men costumes, because I never really took to them. But I actually found the original new series costume scary. But there is a photograph taken from, I think it's either from Dark Waters or Death in Heaven. But there's a photograph of a Cyberman, and it really gave me the chills of the what we class as the current Cybermen. And one thing that did annoy me in Dark Waters and Death in Heaven was the fact that they're stomping around. They're not taking like references from the original Cybermen, where it was all quiet, not stomping around. And because we're growing up with original Doctor Who, you tend to prefer the original Cybermen over what you think is of the new series Cybermen. But I, as I just mentioned, I did like the 2006 design. One of my favourite Cybermen of the 2006 designs was the Cyber Leader from the Next Doctor, where they took the Cyber Controller head helmet and painted it black, and you now got a Cyber Leader with the brain showing, which I thought was pretty awesome. Which I was like, oh, I love that Cyberman. I was like, oh, I've got to get an action figure. Because obviously there was the action figure released in the Cyberman collect and build wave of the Cyber Controller. So I was happy. I'd like to thank Sydney Ewan, Tracy Lambert, William Hartnell, Jacqueline Hill, Caroline Ford, William Russell for those first adventures with Doctor Who. And I'd like to wish a happy 54th birthday to Doctor Who. So, if you like this video, thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment with your favourite memories of Doctor Who and your favourite Doctor. And I'll see you next time with a vlog or a video of me going on about something. So, happy birthday, Doctor Who. Happy birthday.
One day I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back. Until then, there must be no regrets, no tears, no anxieties. Just go forward in all your beliefs and prove to me that I am not mistaken in mine.